Hi there. So today we're going to quickly go over how to start a partnership in Kentucky. So you can do this by registering with the Secretary of State online or by mailing in your application form to the office of the Secretary of State. Regardless, you're going to have to pay a filing fee of $40 if you're a domestic partnership or $90 if you're a foreign partnership. Before we start here, I recommend that you review Chapter 362 of the Kentucky Revised Statutes. Regardless of how you're going to file and the type of partnership you plan on filing for, you need to have a completely unique name within the state of Kentucky. That means it has to be distinguishable from all corporations, LLCs, and other partnerships that are already registered. To make sure that this is the case, you can perform a business entity search. This is especially useful for PDF applicants because the online registration process involves a name availability search already. At any rate, all it is you're just writing a name, searching the online database, and if it comes up, then it means that you're going to have to operate under a different name. If that's not the case, there's a good chance you're going to be able to use it. You can also perform a name reservation. This allows for you to reserve your name, obviously, for a period of 120 days. It'll cost you $15. It's super straightforward. You're going to have to mail in a PDF form, but it should only take a couple minutes. So let's get started here. How to file as a limited partnership. So, as I said before, you're going to need an account with the Kentucky Business Registration website. If you're having a hard time signing up with that, we have a brief tutorial here that'll sort of walk you through the process. But assuming that you have an account and you're logged on to said account, you're going to want to navigate to the landing page. If you are a domestic LP, limited partnership, choose the first option. If you're foreign, which means you're an out-of-state partnership, you're going to use this option here, and then in the drop-down menu, choose limited partnership. The next step is entering the registration contact information, so provide their full name, email address, and phone number. As I spoke about a little bit before, there's that name availability search, or business name search they call it here, on the online application. So what you're going to do is enter your name in here and the suffix and click search. If it shows, if it's this, it says business name available, you can click yes and click next. Now if that doesn't happen, it says it's not available, you'll have to choose a different one, obviously. After you're done with this step, you're going to have to supply the registered agent. That's the type, either an individual or a business, their full name, their contact information, and their mailing address. Then provide the address of your principal office. And the next step is going to be a little bit different if you're domestic or if you're foreign. For domestic businesses, all you have to do is specify whether it's going to be managed by oh, my bad. It's here you're going to elect whether it's going to be a limited liability, limited partnership or not. It's by checking this box. You can do the same thing if you're foreign, but you're also going to have to supply whether it's an American business, the date of organization, and the period of duration. So if you plan on operating in Kentucky indefinitely, you can leave this blank. But if you think there's going to be a period of time where you're going to eventually leave, enter the end date there. Alright, step 7 is you add all the business representatives. It's usually just one general partner. If you have more general partners, obviously just keep adding them. Once you have the sufficient amount, this will leave and you'll be able to click next. And when you do click next, you're going to be given the option to have a delayed effective date. If you plan on being effective as soon as this filing is finished, leave this blank. But if you want to, put a date, in the future ahead, you can add it here, and then also you can add delayed effective time. And click next. You can now add business administrators. You can add a new one, or you can make yourself the one-stop business administrator. Following that, you can provide the e-signatures of all the general partners and the date of filing. And then you can also add the consent of the registered agent by having them sign and give the date as well. Click next. Finally, it's just going to be a review of everything that you just submitted. And if it all seems correct, you can review the payment summary, which will be $40 if you're domestic or $90 if you're foreign. And you can select the payment type here. Click next, enter in all your credit card credentials, and finish filing online. You can file by PDF as well, so download the Certificate of LP or Certificate of Authority. Certificate of Authority is used for all entity types. Of course, Certificate of LP is just for limited partnerships and limited liability limited partnerships. You have to provide all this basic information: name of the partnership, mailing address, street address of initial office, registered agent, all general partner information. Now you'll have the option in Article 6 to elect to be an LLP as opposed to just an LP. You have your delayed filing date, if applicable, and then have each partner sign it and the signature of the registered agent. The Certificate of Authority will be the same across the board, which will mean you can identify which entity type you'd like to form, then the name, the entity to be used in Kentucky, or the name of the entity to be used in Kentucky, state or country of original organization, date of organization, mailing address, street address, name and addresses of all general partners. Then at this point you have to select whether it's an LP or an LLLP, the effective date if different than the time of filing, and then the signature of authorized representative and the signature of registered agent. The filing is a GP. It's actually not a required filing. You can still be a general partnership and not file with the Secretary of State, but there is a formal filing option, which is through submitting this form, which is basically, I'm not going to go over it again, but it's all the same, pretty much the same stuff from limited partnership applications. And it's, as with the other one, once you finish filing, you're going to mail it into this with the appropriate filing fee. If you're filing to be an LLP, what it is just electing to have limited liability amongst the partners of your limited partnership or general partnership. So you're going to want to download the Kentucky Domestic Statement of Qualification. And then you'll provide the name of the partnership. Well, pretty much all the same stuff as before. It's just general information on all your partners and of the principal address, stuff like that. And then the foreign statement of qualification should look something like this, and it'll be essentially the same information as well. And then all the PDF applications, if you print them off, they'll be sent to the Office of the Secretary of State, which is always the same address here. A few tips: filing after you finish filing, register for an employment identification number if you're a new partnership. This can be done online or through the PDF application of Form SS4. What it does is allows the Internal Revenue Services to recognize you as a tax-paying entity, and it'll allow for you to open bank accounts, register for corporate credit cards, apply for loans, and pretty much do any sort of financial transaction. Partnership agreements, really similar to corporate bylaws or LLC operating agreement. It should be drafted immediately after or sometimes before you're filing with the Secretary of State. It just pretty much lays out all the rules and details all the necessary information, how you're going to manage and govern your partnership. And also, One filing you have to make each year is the renewal, which is the filing of your annual report to the Secretary of State, just updating them of any changes which have occurred over the last 12 months. Even if no changes have occurred, you still have to provide them with with an annual report between the 1st of January and the 30th of June. If it's late, you'll no longer be in good standing, and you'll have to file it in order to get back into good standing. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Hope that's helpful. Bye-bye.